episode of Spill the Beans. I am so excited because today I am Zooming my cousin, an artist who has been residing at Finca Terrerito. She is from Chicago and her name is Gloria. Want to introduce yourself, Gloria?
Yes, hello everyone. As Alejandra said, I'm from Chicago and I've been here going on my fifth month now, and it's been quite the extraordinary experience.
So tell us what you've been doing at Finca Terrerito. Your story is truly one of a kind. You've been there for a couple months now. Give us a brief background on how this all started, who got the idea, what is it like to be a residing artist at a coffee farm? Tell us a little bit about your experience.
Well, this all started, at least on my end, a little over a year ago when I was visiting you guys in Atlanta earlier in the year last year. Your father just put the offer out on the table with not really much expectation added to it. He just said, "Would you like to visit the farm? You can do as much or as little as you like to do while you're out there." He says maybe you can utilize your skills in more than one way while you're out there. But he was like, "I think it'll be a very good experience for you." And I don't think he realized that before he was even done talking. In my mind, I was already here. I was like, I'm going. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I don't know why I'm there, but I'm there. It feels right.
Mhm.
Um, since I've been here, it's been quite fluid. I've created a mural. Um, there's talks about potentially creating a second mural. I taught and have been teaching English classes to both adults and children. And I've really just been immersing myself in the experience here with people, the land. It's just been an all around good experience professionally and personally for me.
Did you realize you were going to stay this long? From what I've heard and from my understanding, COVID-19 kind of turned the tables a little bit. What was that like?
It did. My plans were my original ticket was to return back March 31st. So I've already been here a month extended past that time. And that around that time was when COVID was coming into the US and starting to filter in through Central and South America. And Honduras closed their ports around that same time. They shut down their ports completely, and there was no commercial flights going out. My flight got canceled. Needless to say, though, I was not really upset about it. There was definitely concerns. There was definitely concerns like, should you really be there during this time?
Yeah,
What about this? What about that? I
right,
was not worried,
right.
and I could leave if I wanted to, but I'm fine here. I have no problems with the extended stay.
So has your journey been everything that you expected it to be?
It's been more than what I've expected in a good way, and
Okay,
definitely in a good
good.
way. I feel that through the experience that I'm continuing to have, I have grown and changed as an individual, as an artist, even as well. Because
Yeah,
there's been some challenges here with a couple of things I've done.
yeah.
Um, I feel that I've grown from the experience. I see myself and feel myself as someone different, and I have an additional point of view to see things from as well, which I think is always useful, even when I go back home.
Yeah. And you mentioned, some of the challenges as an artist. What were some of those challenges, and also could you speak on, a little bit about the art that you have been creating, the big mural on that huge water tank? What did the owner, Al Lopez, initially plan for you, and what did you have in mind as well, going in to living at the farm, but also having this agreement of being able to bring and produce art there?
Yes. So, challenge wise, the mural that you're speaking of is only the fourth mural that I've done, and the third, let's say, public sort of. This was not necessarily public because it's on private property, but it's easily accessible.
Uh-huh.
Third public mural. And with that said, just the anxiety and the fear of, oh, this is something still new for me. I'm still trying to figure it out. That in itself was completely mentally challenging for me. And that, needless to say, that mural is on a water tank that is 9 feet tall and 70 feet, approximately 70 feet in circumference.
It's
That's
huge.
a lot of canvas to cover.
Yeah.
And is the first one where I was pretty much given complete artistic creativity and decision over it, with the exception of the topic matter,
Hmm.
and essentially did it alone. Whereas the other ones I had assistants, the other ones I had to kind of follow a certain regiment.
Yeah.
So that liberty also created a sense of fear where, oh wow, I get to choose what happens and what doesn't happen. And then all of the what ifs come in. So I had to fight that. Oh, and the other challenge was where my art comes from. I wanted to come from a place where people feel and understand it.
Yeah.
And one of the challenges was culturally, this is not my culture. I am Hispanic, I'm Latina, but this is still a different land for me. So I needed to understand and be able to engage with
Yeah.
the way of life here to be able to tap into that when it came to the mural.
Yeah.
So I started canvassing the area and talking to certain people. Oh, I can do there, I can do that, I can do this. And then I saw the water tank, and it was a decision made. Okay, that's what I'm painting.
How have the employees and the farmers and the kids, everyone living on the land or who passes your mural, what what's their reaction?
When I first started, we still had a significant, nowhere near peak time, but there was still a significant of temporary workers here.
Yeah.
And culturally, it's something that was hard for me to understand and realize. People seeing me come in, the minute they realize I'm from the US and the minute they realize that I'm family of the owners, they kind of want to distance themselves
Mm,
because it's like you're an untouchable. And
yeah.
that was hard for me to understand. That was hard for me to take in.
Yeah.
And in my mind, it was like, how do I engage people? I don't want people to feel they can't talk to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not who I am. On top of that, I want to talk to people. I'm by
Yeah.
myself, guys. But
Yeah.
when I started painting the mural, that almost felt like for some people that was the icebreaker. For some people, it wasn't until I started that mural that they started talking to me.
Wow. So the
And
conversation
with
starter.
Yeah, it was, and in it for the temporary workers even more so because they're coming from a different land,
Yeah.
and a lot of them didn't even speak Spanish.
Wow.
Right? So often what they will have is they'll come in groups. When they come in groups,
Uh-huh.
you have one or two people that understand Spanish and they're the person that speaks and represents for them, right? So
Uh-huh.
they will come in the groups and the one guy would be like, he has a question. Okay. So I'm looking at him, he just know
Wow.
I'm gonna ask you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my
And
God.
little by little, after a while, even the temporary workers, they'll come and say hello to me every morning. They'll come look at my progress and ask me. They were like, it was something, I guess, different for them. Like, here's a woman from the US. Oh, and another thing is they always talked about my hair being short.
Yeah.
And
Because it's
you
different.
don't you don't have hair. And here she is. She speaks broken Spanish, and she's not all she's the way they would look at it. All she's doing is she's painting.
Yeah.
She's not here to harvest the coffee.
Yeah.
She's not here to work with us. She's painting.
Can you go a little bit more into detail or, just kind of elaborate on the story from seed to cup and everything that you had to learn?
First of all, and some people will probably be nodding, shaking their heads at me. Was not a coffee drinker. I was not a where's my cup of joe, my day doesn't start before that happens. That was not me. If
Mhm.
I told you I drank 5 half cups of coffee a year, I was over exaggerating.
Wow.
So with that said, one was to just understand the idea behind the whole thing of consuming coffee
Mhm.
and what it took to get to that point,
Mhm.
like what the from the harvesting, the
Right.
growing, the picking of the cherries, the washing of the cherries,
It's a lot.
the
Yeah.
yes, the drying of the cherries, the exportation,
Mhm.
the warehousing, all of that. So I had to understand that process because in order for me to tell the story of coffee, I need to understand the steps of coffee and what are the main steps of coffee that need to be told. So that was one.
Yeah.
Like there's several different washing processes, there's several different drying processes, there's several different types of coffee.
Yeah.
So I had to learn all of that, and all of that is actually in the mural as well.
Yeah.
The other part is okay, so the mural itself, in my mind, the way I told the story, I have it separated in two halves. You have the Honduran side,
Yeah.
you have the American side, you have the US side.
Right.
And on the Honduran side, I really tried my best to really tap into the people that work here.
I love that. Yeah.
I really wanted to tap because I wanted that to be where they saw it, even if they interpret it different from what my intentions were, if
Yeah.
they had a connection with it,
Yeah.
then
That's
I felt I did my job.
right.
So, and then one of the biggest parts of that was there's a part where there's a sun.
Mhm.
standing over what's representative of the land here. And within that sun, one, I repeated the word love in it in different languages.
Yeah.
And I actually made sure that I included the dialects from a couple of dialects from Guatemala because a lot of some of the workers that come are from there.
Yeah.
The other half of the words I use are from adjectives that were given to me from the workers here. And so that's the one way I created a connection. And on the other side is the roasting side, the warehousing side, the where it finally gets to the cafes, where it finally gets to your home and to your cup.
Yeah.
So as you're walking around, it's almost like a clock. As you're
Mhm.
walking around that water tank, you're seeing the transition from the seed to the bean to the roast
Yeah.
to your cup for you to consume.
In terms of the appreciation for the actual process and the story that goes behind, you know, the everyday cup of coffee, do you find yourself appreciating that story more?
I do, definitely, because it goes back to something I said earlier. It's one thing to say, "Oh, I understand and know what goes through, the type of work that what people do,"
Yeah,
but to see it
right.
and to see every little detail that you never gave consideration to. Like
Mhm.
you have parents that have to make sure their children are taken care of before they go work,
Yeah,
and you have all the other options. So definitely there is a great appreciation for the amount of work and things that a lot of the workers here need to consider and take care of that we take for granted.
right.
And the thing about it is it's all about expectations and what you know and what you don't know and what's your reality. Because here versus there, and I'm speaking very general, you have the people that maintain and handle themselves pretty much on their own. They
Mhm.
live off land, which is another part of the pillar of sustainable farming. They live off the land. A lot of what the people eat here, we want some plantains? Let's go up the tree and cut them.
Yeah,
We need some eggs? Let's go to the coop
right.
where we go to the grocery store.
Exactly. Yeah,
And so it's a matter of where we rely more off of someone else to provide us something, whereas here everyone does for themselves, or if they don't, there's someone they know that's their specialty. They come to
right.
them.
So overall, it sounds like you've had a really good experience.
I definitely have. This has been on all levels of possibility an experience that has changed me, has helped me grow, has improved me. I definitely this would be something in the books that I won't forget.
Yeah.
I definitely won't, and I will miss everything and everyone here when I leave.
Thank you so much for your time, Gloria. I really appreciate
You.
it.
Thank you.
Please take care of yourself, stay safe, stay healthy, and I really hope that you continue enjoying your stay over there. And, you
Will
know,
do.
I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everyone, for joining us on today's episode of Spill the Beans. Stay tuned for the next one. All right. Bye, Gloria. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Thanks.